I am not afraid to give numbers in this practice. If you practice intensively with this practice, the way we support it, you can let go of most 80% of your attachments within 12 years. That means doing every sesshin that we offer, meeting with the teacher to do Dokusan every opportunity you get, sitting the full schedule, which is about 12 to 15 hours a week on the average. That's our average schedule. You can do this. This is very real possibility. And that's what we're here for. We are here to support that process. We are also here to support the never-ending process of just practicing a little bit here and there. We totally support that too. The idea that one of those is better than the other is just an idea. It's empty. There's no reality to that preference. But yet, within that emptiness, we do have encouragement and suggestions and numbers. And so I'm telling you now, if you come to every sesshin and you sit the full schedule, you have a very good chance of letting go of your attachments to the extent that you can completely feel and experience and manifest this emptiness, this true emptiness and enlightenment. What does that look like? Well, it's nothing special. It means that when we get in an argument, that we can let go of our side a little easier. It means that when we start to think about what we need to buy, we can be a little more appropriate to what our spiritual nature needs, more than what our material neediness wants. It means that we can be a little more of service. If we have the choice to give our time in one way or another, we're going to spend less time indulging our own desires, and we're going to spend more time helping other people fulfill their needs. So that is what is possible with this. It's not sitting in some special high mountain and being beyond all of these issues. Because the emptiness, experiencing emptiness doesn't mean that we don't get into difficulties. It just means that when we get into difficulties, we can get out of them much easier and much faster. This is not about escaping life. This is not about breaking free from all of the difficulties. This is about being free within the difficulties. So, to do that, it really makes a difference to be able to see the emptiness of all things. So, in particular, in this practice, we really support experiencing emptiness through communication. Certainly, the meditation is key and just a cornerstone, an essential cornerstone of experiencing this. Because as the process works, we come in and we're holding on to lots of ideas and old emotional patterns so that we get triggered easily. And we have lots of stories that float around in our head. And so we spend the first 5 years sitting with the stories, just spinning stories and feeling triggered and blaming and pointing the finger, or whether at ourselves or other people. That's the first 5 years of intensive practice. The second 5 years of intensive practice is dealing with all the emotions and the emotional patterns that are underneath that. So 5 years to start to let go of the story. Once we let go of the story, then we deal with the emotions that are underneath the surface. And it's terribly painful. it takes a lot of determination and motivation to sit through the emotional pain that it takes to start to let go of our attachments. So that's the second 5 years of practice, of intensive practice. And then after we process these deep emotional patterns and emotional wounds and issues that we've been holding on to all of our life, there comes a day when it just starts to it's like held in our bodies. And then there comes the day that our body just starts to release these patterns and all of these experiences that we've been holding on to. So once that release starts to happen, then we start to really experience the freedom that's available in this practice. You know, the freedom that we experience every day, and the freedom that we can bring to our relationships and our connections. The freedom that allows us to see, you know what, even though I disagree with this person, or even if I'm competing with this person, we are the same. It's like I'm competing with myself. I'm disagreeing with myself. That is freedom. You know? It's just knowing. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to continue to disagree or hold a grudge or hold a resentment. What it means is that when I'm experiencing my resentment, I have the ability to step back and say, okay, I know I'm just stuck here. And I can let it go in the sense that I can be happy with it. I can still be content, realizing that we're all connected and that we're having a disagreement. That's freedom. But first we have to clear through the ideas and then the emotions to get there. And it's a huge, tremendous clearing process that takes years and years and years of intensive practice. And if we do it, we get it. Literally. I mean, really. What do we get? We get nothing. You know? Nothing is another core element. Emptiness, enlightenment, oneness, nothing. These are all synonyms. True self. And to really get one of these is to get them all. You know, yes, understanding that the law of cause and effect means that everything is empty, that's a nice thing to understand, you know. But to experience that, you know, all the causes and conditions of my life that brought me here are equally connected to the causes and conditions that brought the people that I disagree with here, that experience that we are all fighting for the same thing is an experience of freedom. So, okay, I digress. What I was getting at was we support the process of experiencing emptiness through communication. Here at the Zen Center, we do counsel practice and nonviolent communication practice. These are the two most powerful practices I know of to actually start to manifest emptiness. Because to be able to deal with conflict and to fully express my emotions, express myself emotionally, and without blaming, that is the ultimate manifestation of emptiness. If I can deal with conflict and confrontation by being present and in touch with my emotions and what I need to communicate in order to try and resolve this in the most compassionate way, that is the complete experience of emptiness. So I encourage you all to look into those types of communication practices as a real concrete expression of emptiness. You can start to manifest emptiness in your life today if you can start to learn to communicate through the stuck places. So I feel stuck because somebody hurt my feelings and I don't want to let it go. I think it's real. I think I'm real and I think they're real and I think I have a real reason to be upset. So I'm going to hold on to it and I'm going to be passive aggressive and I'm going to try and get them back somehow, even if it's just in my mind. That is not emptiness. So if you come to a place like that in your life, please remember what we're talking about here. Please remember, oh, this is the opposite of emptiness. If I want to experience emptiness, it means I need to be able to talk about this. I need to communicate compassionately through this. I need to be able to do direct communication with the people that I'm upset with and express my needs and my emotions without blaming. It does not get better than that. That is total freedom. Or if you're like me and you can't do that, then use compassionate communication to apologize. And then that's freedom. So it's not about being empty all the time, but it's about having emptiness to fall back onto as a backup plan, at least. If you got that going for you, then, you are free. All right, so the koan. Do people these days have to attain enlightenment? Kozan replied, it's not that there's no enlightenment, but how can one not fall down into the second level? So enlightenment is the emptiness, and the second level is this stuck place. So, do people these days need to practice? Do we need to practice? Well, it's not that we're not already enlightened, because we are perfect just as we are. That's a given. Everything because it's empty. Because everything is empty and a function of cause and effect and we're all connected, our life is perfect just as it is. Does that mean we don't have to practice and attain enlightenment? No. Because it's part of life is to experience suffering. Part of life is to experience the difficulties. Part of life is to be deluded. So even though we're perfect, we need to practice just to continue to evolve this enlightenment. We can evolve our perfection so that we can really be in tune with it and we can end our suffering. Because we are. We're a function of the second level and perfection. They are the same thing. So cause and effect is also, cause and effect is empty. There is no cause and effect. This is just this moment. This moment is here, and there's nothing else. What could cause just this? It's nothing. Just this. Has no past and no future. So cause and effect is empty, and it's full. So our life is perfection and it's suffering. So to practice with this until we can experience the freedom that's available within this suffering. That's what we're doing.